Hello students, in this lecture let us revise chemical properties of alcohols and phenols. So two important name reaction. I'll write the heading. The whole topic over here is chemical properties of alcohols and phenols. Here we are learning the chemical reactivity, how a phenol or how alcohol is going to react with some other reactant. Okay, here the whole purpose is just to test the reactivity, what would be a product if alcohol is combined with some other reagent. Okay, different kinds of reactant. So two important name reactions which you should know about the phenols is that one is Riemer-Tiemann reaction, and second is Kolb's reaction. Some people call this to be Kolbe's, one and same, or Kolb's reaction. So these are the two reactions which are very important to know. This question could be asked in any manner. Okay, they can directly tell you to write a chemical reaction, Riemer-Tiemann reaction, or they may give you a certain product. Okay, identify the reactant or reactant and reagents. What would be a product? This kind of questions could be asked in a Goa boards. Okay, sometimes they tell you to write the name of the reaction which is given below, so you should be able to identify. And this is one of the very important name reaction. So how it goes? So if I want to talk about this reaction, Riemer-Tiemann reaction, it is a reaction of a phenol, with chloroform and sodium hydroxide aqueous. So here you get a sodium phenoxide and aldehyde. Right, this is intermediate which you are getting, and further in the presence of acid, this gets converted to OH, and this is CHO. So this is 2-hydroxy. This name is 2-hydroxy benzaldehyde. Okay, or also known as salicyl aldehyde. The name of this is salicyl aldehyde. So we started with a phenol. Okay, so this is what the Riemer-Tiemann reaction. So product, you should be knowing the products of the Riemer-Tiemann reaction. That is, both the names you should know, 2-hydroxy benzaldehyde and other name is salicyl aldehyde. Then there comes a Kolbe's reaction or Kolb's reaction. Here it is a reaction of phenol with carbon dioxide, okay, and NaOH. It is a reaction of sodium hydroxide. First we can write this way, NaOH. It is reacting with this. So here what do you get is ONa. This is sodium phenoxide ion. This is what you get. And further reaction with a carbon dioxide and acid. Okay, acid is important. Carbon dioxide and acid. What do you get is OH and COOH. So what is the name of this 2-hydroxy benzoic acid. 2-hydroxy benzoic acid is the name of this. This is also known as salicylic acid. You can remember, sometimes students get confused between these two reactions, carbon dioxide or CHCl3. Remember, carbon dioxide, you see this carbon dioxide, COO. So this is what you can take the help and remember these two reactions. Okay, more reactions will do, more questions will do. Questions, how would you obtain? Next question is, how would you obtain? Okay, I'll write the question. How would you obtain picric acid from phenol. Now what is picric acid? Picric acid is this. This is what the picric acid is. A phenol is there, OH is there, and 3 nitro groups connected like this, like 2,4,6 tri nitro phenol. This is an example of a picric acid. This is picric acid. Right? How this is prepared from a phenol? Actually, this is a reactivity of the phenol. This reaction is about the reactivity of the phenol with a concentrated HNO3. Okay, reaction is so simple. How a phenol is going to react with a concentrated HNO3. If you take this, you get a picric acid. Okay, so this is how we learn. So questions could be asked in any manner, like preparation of the picric acid, or write a reaction of a phenol with a concentrated HNO3. This could be a different ways of questions could be asked. So this is what is an example. This is what could be the question: phenol and concentrated HNO3. Then next is benzoquinone from phenol. Next is this is first question. Okay, how would you obtain a picric acid from phenol? Then convert benzoquinone from phenol. Benzoquinone. Okay, I'll write over here. Prepare benzoquinone from phenol. Now, what is phenol? We know. Okay, and you want what? You want benzoquinone. This is benzoquinone. How would you do that? Okay, how you would do that? So here it is a oxidizing agent which is used, Na2Cr2O7, in the presence of H2SO4. This is a very good oxidizing agent, Na2Cr2O7, that gives you a benzoquinone when oxidized. So this is a phenol. Reaction could be asked. Write a reaction or oxidation of the phenol, what it would do in the presence of Na2Cr2O7. Okay, this way. Then next question is prepare. Third is benzene. This is very important. Benzene from phenol. You want to prepare a benzene from phenol. Like this is your phenol. How you would prepare a benzene, right? So what is done is, it is reacted with a zinc dust. Zinc dust means a small particles of the zinc. So zinc is in zero oxidation state. Zinc is more stable in a +2 oxidation state. So when it will go in a +2 oxidation state, when it becomes zinc oxide. So oxygen is removed, right? And where is this hydrogen? Hydrogen is here, no? On every carbon there are hydrogens, no? Of the benzene, right? So benzene we write it this way only. We don't show those hydrogen, although they are there. So this is what the whole reaction is. So zinc getting converted to zinc oxide. This is phenol and this is benzene. This is a chemical reactivity of phenol with zinc dust. Question is, why boiling point of ethanol is higher than that of the methanol? See, boiling point, one reason is boiling point is directly proportional to what? Directly proportional to molar mass, right? And also boiling point is directly proportional to intermolecular forces. Right? These are the two reasons which decides the boiling point. So over here, see, intermolecular forces which is operating between the methanol molecule is same as that operating between the ethanol molecule, that is a hydrogen bond. How? You take this CH3, CH2, OH. Over here hydrogen is connected to electronegative element. So here the intermolecular forces which is operating between another molecule of the ethanol is a hydrogen bond force. Same way with methanol, right? The intermolecular force which is operating between one methanol and another methanol is again a hydrogen bond force. So this is not the factor on which we can decide the boiling point. So what we can say is that answer for this reason is that a molar mass or a molecular mass of ethanol is more than methanol. Since, right, molecular mass of ethanol is more than that of the methanol, therefore boiling point of the ethanol is higher than that of the methanol. This is the one question. Now next question is phenols are stronger acid than the methanol. Why phenols? Second question, why phenols are stronger acid than alcohol? Or we can take alcohol, means alcohol like methanol or ethanol, any kind of alcohol. 1 minute. Now you see that this is phenol. What they are saying is phenols are more acidic. Phenols are more acidic than alcohol, means ROH. This is alcohol. See, what is the meaning of acid? It should split. It should split like this. It should split O minus and H plus. Here also this will split R O minus NaH plus. Then only we will call this to be acid. It is giving H plus. In which case the negative charge is more stable. Remember, here negative charge is more stable compared to this negative charge, because over here negative charge is in resonance. It is into the conjugation, right? So reason you can write the phenoxide ion so produce. So reason for this phenoxide ion so produced is more stable than, what is this? This is like alkoxide ion. Phenoxide ion so produces more stable than alkoxide ion due to what? Due to resonance, or in bracket you can write conjugation. So any intermediate, whether it is a carbocation, carboanion or free radical, if it is getting stabilized by resonance, it is most stable intermediate. So over here this is the intermediate which is most stable. Therefore phenols are more acidic than alcohol. Describe a chemical test. Describe the chemical test. Chemical test to distinguish between propane 1-ol and 2-methyl propane 2-ol. Okay, so which is the chemical test to distinguish? Like, what is propane 1-ol? This way: CH3, CH2, CH2OH. This is propan 1-ol. What is 2-methyl propane 2-ol? 3-carbon system. On second position there is this, and on second there is alcohol. This is 2-methyl propane 2-ol. So if you go to see, this is 2-methyl propane 2-ol. What degree alcohol? This is primary alcohol. right? And this is second tertiary alcohol. Tertiary alcohol. So when you have to decide between the alcohols whether it is a primary, secondary, tertiary, we use a Lucas test. Answer for this is Lucas test. Lucas test. This test is test for the detection of the primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. So what is the Lucas reagent? Lucas reagent is ZnCl2 plus HCl. This is a Lucas reagent. This is the reagent is used to test the detection of the primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. Like how do we understand? See, for a primary alcohol, the alkyl halide is formed and it is in the form of precipitate. So that alkyl halide which is formed in a primary alcohol is very, very slow. It takes more than half an hour. For a secondary alcohol, it takes around 10 to 15 minutes for that turbidity to attain. And for a tertiary alcohol, it is very quick. As soon as you add a zinc chloride and a HCl, the turbidity, the formation of the alkyl halide takes place very easily. Means in short, what I would say is that alcohol, you take this alcohol and ZnCl2 plus HCl, what do you get is Rx. So this is turbid in nature. So time required to formation of this alkyl halide will depend upon the degree of the alcohol. So this is the test, these are the answers. Okay, Lucas test, and reagent if it is asked, then you can write ZnCl2 and HCl. Next question is next is why orthonitrophenol is more stream volatile. Why orthonitrophenol is more steam volatile than paranitrophenol. It is like, it is similar boiling point. Okay, here volatility will be also dependent on the intermolecular forces. If intermolecular forces are strong, then volatility is less, and if it is if it is less, intermolecular force is less, then volatility is more, right? So if we write orthonitrophenol, this is OH, and here NO2 is there, and here OH is there, and this NO2. Now here if you see, there is a hydrogen, there is NO minus positive charge. What is there? There is intramolecular hydrogen bonding. This is orthonitrophenol. I'll write the thing. This is orthonitrophenol. This is at ortho position, and this is para. This is at para position. The difference of 3 bonds. Para nitrophenol. Here there is intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Intramolecular means inside the molecule hydrogen bonding is there. Intramolecular hydrogen bonding. And here it is intermolecular. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay, so now why orthonitrophenol is more steam volatile? Now this is more steam volatile means here there is less intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Intermolecular means what? Forces which is operating between one orthonitrophenol. Let's say this is one orthonitrophenol, this is OH and NO2, and this is another orthonitrophenol. This is another orthonitrophenol. So there will be certain force. This is called as intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Since it is already forming an intramolecular hydrogen bonding, this intermolecular force of hydrogen bonding will be less compared to this type of interaction. Here, this is OH and NO2. When you consider another paranitrophenol, there will be no any intramolecular hydrogen bonding is very difficult because these groups are very far, but what will be existing is strong intermolecular force of attraction. So what we can write, a reason what to write in an exam is that I'll clean this part. In orthonitrophenol, you can write this way, in orthonitrophenol, there exists intramolecular hydrogen bonding, and in paranitrophenol, there exist intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So as a consequence, okay, so intermolecular, so here there is intermolecular hydrogen bonding or intermolecular force that will decide what? That will decide the escape of the molecule from the bulk, right? More is the force, less is the escape. So which is more in paranitrophenol. So what we can write, in orthonitrophenol there exists a intramolecular hydrogen bonding, and in paranitrophenol there exists a intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Therefore in paranitrophenol, intermolecular force is comparatively more than orthonitrophenol. Here are the set of questions, 1, 2, 3. You can just give a try to this, pause this video for some time and see what answer you are getting. Okay, I'll solve this for you. So this is first example over here, that is ethanol. This name is ethanol. This is PCl5. Now what is this PCl5? PCl5 is a source of Cl minus ion. Now you see this Cl minus ion will attack where? This carbon, no? Means it will donate its electron to this carbon because electronegative element is connected to this carbon, right? And this is partially positive, this carbon is partially positive. So new bond will be formed and this bond will be broken, right? So SN reaction, SN2 reaction is taking place. So this is CH3, CH2, Cl. So this name is chloroethane. This reaction is Friedel-Crafts reaction. This reaction I'll write over here. This is Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction. Now Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction takes place in a two-step. That is step 1. I'll write here. Step 1 is formation of an electrophile. Means CH3Cl and AlCl3, that is anhydrous. So AlCl3 is what? AlCl3 is a Lewis acid which is in need of the electron, right? Acceptor of the electron pair. From where it will take? It will take from here. So what you get is AlCl4 minus and a CH3 plus. This is what you are getting. This is the electrophile. Hope it is coming into the frame. Yes. This is the electrophile which is generated. Okay. And step 2 is what? Step 2 is attack of electrophile, attack of or a substitution of the electrophile, substitution of electrophile on benzene, right? So this is your on benzene means in this case it is phenol, right? Phenol. So this is nature of this OH is what? It will direct incoming electrophile to a ortho and para position. So para is a more stable, So this is the electrophile CH3 plus, okay? This will attack over here. And what do you get is this OH. You see that there are hydrogen on every carbon. Here there is hydrogen, 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 hydrogen and hydrogen. Only thing we don't show this. But here I'll show. This hydrogen is there. This is positive charge. There is a hydrogen and this CH3 is going to come. Now to maintain the aromaticity, this H plus will leave. And finally, what you get is this OH and CH3. Means over here, the product is this. So this is 4-methyl phenol. This is what the product is. Now over here, whenever you add a acid to the alcohol, question number 3, when you add a acid to the alcohol, what happens? You get a dehydrated product. So I'll clean this part, top part. When you add acid to the alcohol, you take this CH and one hydrogen over here I am writing CH, OH. I'll not go into the mechanism, but I'll tell you dehydration. Dehydration means what? Dehydration means either you remove this water molecule or you remove this water molecule. There are two possibilities, A or B. But they, like in this type of question, major product is asked. So over here, there are two possibilities. One is forming a alkene. You remove this hydrogen and OH and double bond will be formed over here. So this is a trick which I am telling you. Either this or you remove this part. That is, you are going to get this alkene. Right? So this is but2in. The name of this is but2in. And name of this is but1in. Now among this is more stable. This is more stable. And this is less stable. Less stable. According to Sairdzeff rule, more is the number of the alkyl group on either side of the double bond, more is the stability of the alkene, right? So here there are two alkyl groups on either side of the double bond. Here there is just one alkyl group on one side of the double bond, right? So more is the number. You can always remember whenever you do any kind of the elimination reaction, which alkene to form. Okay, there are some exceptions, but more is the number of alkyl group. More is the number of alkyl groups on either side of double bond. More is the stability of an alkene. This is according to the Sairdzeff rule. Always remember this rule. So our answer is this. Our answer is this for this question. Means over here I will write most stable alkene. That is but2in.